Good.
Yeah. All right, we're going to open the regular meeting of the Citrus County School Board, and we're going to turn it over to Ms. Cummings, who's in charge of our opening exercise.
Thank you. John the 23rd was our 260th Pope. He died in 1963. He was canonized as saint in April 27th of 2014, and he wrote these inspirational words. Consult not your fears, but your hopes and your dreams. Think not about your frustrations, but about your unfulfilled potential. Concern yourself not with what you've tried and failed in, but what is still possible for you to do. So St. John the 23rd and dear Lord, guide this board and our executive staff to make decisions that will recognize and perpetuate the hopes and the dreams of our tenacious teachers and our precious students. Decisions that will recognize and inspire the unfulfilled potential of our tenacious teachers and our precious students. The decisions that will instill and perpetuate the future possibilities of our tenacious teachers and our precious students. We ask this in your name, O Lord. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Counts. We need a motion to adopt the agenda as recommended by the superintendent.
I move to adopt the agenda as recommended by the superintendent.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Ms. Beth? Didn't have a pen here. Oh, well. Yes, thank you. Citizens' comments. Do we have anyone? That is when we approve the consent, Beth. Do we have any citizens' comments? Seeing none, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, but before I do that, Ms. Swain is going to come forward and explain some stuff to us.
Good afternoon. You have received a revised copy of the job description for the System Support Specialist, Camera and Electronics Block Technician. The change that we made was instead of, under physical requirements, instead of the workload being medium work, it will now be heavy work, exerting up to 100 pounds of force occasionally and or up to 50 pounds of force frequently and or up to 20 pounds of force as needed to move objects.
Okay, so we're going to add that to our consent agenda. To have a motion to approve with that addition.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda with the addition as described by Mrs. Swain on the System Support Specialist.
Second. Thank you. Second. Ms. Harris? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. And we have recognition of donations. Ms. Beth?
Okay, we have the science fair funding by Citrus County Education Foundation in the amount of $1,550. A $500 donation to Citrus High School from Colonial Pond Inc. $1,000 donation to Citrus High School from Chuck Everidge Insurance Agency Inc. $500 donation to LaCanto High School from Citrus County Education Foundation, $1,700 donation to LaCanto High School from the Kiwanis Club of Central Ridge, $2,000 donation to Citrus Springs Middle School from the 2016 Key Institute Action Project, $500 donation to Commando Elementary School from Inverness Elks Lodge 2522, and a donation of a reading center to empower young readers valued at $622.60 to LaCanto Primary School from DonorsChoose.org.
Thank you, ma'am. Very nice. All right. I think we're up to you, Ms. Swain, School Support Services. Oh, we're back up to you.
first agenda item is I ask the board to approve the instructional and support recommendations as listed on the goldenrod.
I move to approve the support and instruction positions listed on Goldenrod.
Thank you, Ms. Powers. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Ms. Counts. We have a motion by Ms. Powers, a second by Ms. Counts. Do we have any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Passes 5-0.
Second agenda item, I am asking the board to approve Tara Wells to be named principal at Floral City Elementary School with an effective date of July 1st, 2017.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that we approve Tara Wells as principal of Floral City Elementary effective July 1st, 2017.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second? Thank you.
Ms. Bryant,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wells did ask me to share with the board that she had to go back to Illinois for spring break and was not able to be here.
And she actually, we can wave at the camera because she's watching us right now. I texted her congratulations and she said she'd be watching, so we're all very excited about you coming aboard.
Mary, and I wanted to mention, I was reading over her qualifications and everything and focusing on the training that she's had and what she's done in discipline and organization in the classroom. Very impressive and certainly something we value highly. So congratulations, Tara.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0.
The next agenda item is I'm asking the board to approve Laura Mason to be named principal of Citrus High School with an effective date of July 1st, 2017.
I move to approve Laura Mason as principal of Citrus High School effective July 1st, 2017. Beat you.
Mr. Dodd, do I hear a second from you? Thank you, Mr. Dodd. All right, we have a motion by Ms. Powers, a second by Mr. Dodd. Do we have any questions or comments?
Mr. Dodd is a graduate of Citrus High School and his children also, so that's why I would
Pretty good when everybody's fighting to be able to make the nomination.
And I just want to mention, I've worked with Laura many years when I was over at Inverness Middle School, and she has an insight and an ability to evaluate programs that it's like that. Studies it could be, and she could look at something that we might say, hey, this is really good, and she might say, not good enough. So we really appreciate that.
Very excited.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I just want to say too that these great educators are going to be following two other great educators who will be leaving us in their retirement, Rich Hilgert and Janet Reed. And I know we'll have opportunities to talk about them more in the coming weeks, but we really appreciate and value the work that they've done.
Yes, we do. Thank you for that. All right. Mr. Bradshaw.
This is an FYI, it's commercial advertising, so next Thursday, this
You need to speak into the microphone because we can't hear you, honey. There are people out there that are pointing to their ears.
As an FYI, I've got a meeting scheduled next week with Ms. Gaffney, who's the AES attorney, and to start working on certain aspects and parts of the contract. So just wanted y'all to be aware that we're moving forward, rather rapidly with hammering that out and trying to get whatever issues that me and her have straightened out. So and other than that, that's all.
All right. Thank you, sir. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second?
I have a motion by Ms. Powers, a second by Mr. Kennedy. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Mullen, do you have anything to bring before the board?
Ma'am.
All right, Ms. Powers.
Yes, just want to pass out something about the legislation being tracked that Mr. Christopher sent to us. So pass it down that way. I was going to clean out each one of those, but it's very, very long and it's not. So you can go to the side on the computer and read all of those.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
No, I got it. Sorry. I just held on to two. Anything else?
I just want to mention that when any of us are reviewing textbooks, I think it's really necessary to look at the authors of the textbooks and particularly to drill down to where those authors are from. Because sometimes you're reading textbooks and you say, don't be surprised. Well, sometimes it's because those authors are on the West Coast or the Northeast, and the information might not apply as well to us as we'd like it to apply. So take a good look at that anytime we're looking at textbooks.
Good idea. Thank you. Ms. Counts?
Just compliments to Mr. Mullen on how well he represented our board this Saturday and the speaking engagement. He did a very, very good job. We're very proud of him.
Yes, we are. Mr. Kennedy?
Just a couple of good things. One, the Golden Citrus ceremony had to change. So it is going to now be 2 days earlier and going to be on Tuesday, April 25th. Still at the College of Central Florida. It was previously on the 27th.
Right.
It will now be on the 25th, and I'll send a email out for just a reminder of that. I also got to give kudos to Mr. Mullen. He attended the elementary school track meet on Friday that Ms. Mullen coordinates, who does an amazing job. And it was just a fun, spirit-filled evening with just such good stuff that was going on. Oh gosh, it was great, lots of kids. So I appreciate them doing that, and they really do it out of passion of love. How many years is that now, do you know?
She's been doing it 10 years.
10 years. So it was very exciting. One of the things I just wanted to bring to the board's attention, and maybe if there's, if there isn't any problems or agreement, we're going to be beginning, or I should say our staff's beginning, articulation agreement with College of Central Florida. And I've just spoken in the past about students. We've got a large number of students or parents that are trying to get their AA degrees or their AS degrees while they're in high school. And well, someday I would love for us to have a collegiate academy. I know that's not going to happen tomorrow. But in the meantime, I know of a number of students and families that this year they're going to get their degree, but they're kind of out there figuring it out for their own a little bit, because there's not always a simple, easy pathway. And I wondered if maybe, if there's either no objection or if maybe there's encouragement that maybe staff could talk to CF about if there is somewhat of a plan that they could provide us to say, okay, so if this is what you'd like to do, these are the courses that you would take as freshmen, sophomores, seniors, and to kind of have a lineage of what that would be. It would then allow them as parents and the guidance counselors to then work towards that common goal and know what that is. Because it's not an easy task to do that. A lot of students will have to take summer courses. Some of them will take virtual courses, college courses, and then they really need to take a series of specific high school courses in order to accomplish it. And I just figured if we could help them and help provide that, that might be something to do. So that was just my thoughts on that. And other than that, it's just a lot of good stuff going on in the schools. So we're getting ready for our senior awards. We're getting ready for graduations. And, yeah, I was just going to say, if someone can get us dates, and I don't know if that passes down to Dave Rowland, to get us that cheat, that.
I think Scott Hebert is working on, well, Cheryl.
I just need to make a comment about CF, because I had a graduate, my kid graduated from here, she's teaching in our system now, and she did some college classes at CF. And she noticed a difference between our guidance counselors and the college counselors. And the college counselors are going to maintain that relationship. The students have to bear some of the responsibility for the plans. So I don't know that they're going to be too willing to baby the kids like we do, because one of the biggest problems that we had with our college kids coming back and saying hi to their old teachers in our high schools was that we made it too easy for them, and that college really expects them to be a little bit more independent. So I'd be reluctant to say that we need to guide them too strongly.
No, they don't know right now often what courses they're going to need to take. in order to get their AA degree.
But then they need to be able to read that college catalog, because if they were leaving our town, they're going to Santa Fe or they're going to Tallahassee Community College, we're not gonna be able to help them do it, so. They
But
need
parents
to learn
need
how-
help,
they
because
need
as,
to-
when they're freshmen, they're not gonna have an idea, and our academies have that now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we can't help them too much, because
You
colleges
You're
are,
sort of mentioning a framework. I thought I heard you say
I'm
framework.
talking about a framework.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about a framework.
And they could.
Because right now, what happens right now is we have a lot of parents that are saying that's what they want, but they don't know from day one what to do that, and we really don't have a framework or even those instruments to be able to say, so if that's what you want to do, these are the courses you're going to need to start to take. Because that's not really what we've been looking. We don't really have a collegiate academy. But if they were to go to Westport, for example, school, they'd have that from day one. They would have that framework. They would know what courses they're going to need to take. And then they need to use it. That's right.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Dodd?
I would just like to mention that I've been working with the project graduation committee at Citrus High School. Natalie, my daughter's a senior this year, so.
Oh, my gosh.
It's great
Oh, my gosh.
working there, but I mean, I really feel strongly about that program, and I just wanted to know if there was any way or what we could do to encourage the two other high schools to get back involved with project graduation or some type of a drug and alcohol-free event after graduation. So I know that Citrus High is the only school that continues to do that, but I don't know really the answer to that, other than is there some way we can promote it? Is there some way that we can encourage that? And I'm not really sure. I'm on the SAC committee at Citrus High, but the other SAC members here, if it's been an issue of funding or just planning it, there's a lot of work that goes into it, but it's amazing how many parents.
Primarily by the parents.
It's amazing, right? It's amazing how many parents at Citrus High have stepped up to the plate and continue year in and year out to do that. And there's kind of a little plan to keep money in that account to help start the next year's project graduation. So I was just kind of.
I think the best way to do that, Mr. Don, would be to go through their enhancement councils and try to talk to them. I don't think there's probably time for this year's graduating class, but to talk to the enhancement council, junior parents coming in to before next year, so they can get organized, and maybe the Citrus parents could offer them some help in how they did that.
That would be good, because I don't believe Chris Rivers ever done that.
Not that I ever remember Chris Rivers doing it, but Lecanto used to do it, and dropped it a few years ago. Lack of interest.
Well, and it does, when that program was started, I was on the committee that started the program, and a teacher took sort of the lead to organize it, because she knew their parents, knew their names, were how to reach them, and so she took that lead, but then the parents took over and they planned it. So I think it's having one or two people who are very involved and very strong to begin it, and to start getting information out, and then it flows, it starts, it continues. So.
Maybe the parent from Citrus could team up with the teacher that supported it from there. We go out.
Oh, yeah, and kudos to Ms. Cooper. I mean, she does that as the lead teacher there at Citrus High, leading in that area of project graduation, that has done that, you know, I don't know how many years it's been, several years, but she kind of keeps that going, and she kind of helps coordinate that. So I think that would be a part of this, is there has to be someone at the school who is available to kind of start the next group up and keep it, you know, keep the process in place.
I remember when Chris River High School used to have a couple buses, but the teachers that did it retired. So I'm gonna make the assumption that the problem the teachers would just have to step up and help.
Well, what's really neat too is that the community has really been very generous to support project graduation and have some neat activities, drug and alcohol free obviously, and the kids just love it, and there's some nice you know, things are given to the kids win door prizes and win gifts, and we have different events, different competitions, cornhole, they have DJ, they have all the different kind of fun things. So.
And it's evolved from, it's not at the Boy Scout.
No, it's not.
It's at Rock Crush.
It's Rock
It's
Crush
not an
Canyon.
all-night thing.
That's right, yeah.
So it's evolved a little bit. So probably a good idea, I'll get with Miss Mason and see if we can identify the teacher and the parent, and see if we can get them to talk to the other enhancement councils to get that.
And I don't, you know, I know as a parent on the senior side, I think if, for example, the juniors' parents this year, if they knew and maybe had a presentation or something that was, you know, on some, maybe a curriculum night or something where they knew, ooh, okay, that sounds really good. I'd love them to work towards that. Because I would love that for,
And, you know, it's not every graduate attends, but even if it's, you know, 30, 40, 50% of the kids, it's an option. It's an opportunity for them to have one option. It's, yeah, have a party with your friends that's drug and alcohol free. And so,
and as a parent, not worrying where they're
Yep,
going, because,
right.
I mean, we know these times of the year when we hear about an event, our heart kind of goes into our throat a little bit.
It does.
and I was glad to see that there was an article about the Crime Stoppers program on the iPads. I think after talking to Dr. Geddes, that's been on the iPads for some time.
Yeah,
But
last year.
the fact that we're highlighting that and talking to kids about the options there, and use it, I think it's a great tool. So that's all I have.
And that was a Lecanto student that wrote the article too.
That's
really
true.
great.
That was the Lecanto student that wrote the article that was published in the Chronicle. And that's the
Awesome.
It's a good program.
As you all are aware that this morning, Mr. Walker, Mr. Bishop, and myself attended the impact fee meeting at the courthouse with the commissioners, and our impact fees were reinstated by a 4-1 vote. And they will start, I think they start collecting those in May, and probably 4 out of 5 commissioners were very, very complimentary of our school board, of our staff, of our schools, and Mr. Carnahan certainly talked about economic development and how our schools help recruit for that, and those types of things. But 4 out of 5, and we're back in the books.
Thank you for going and doing that. That was,
Appreciate that.
that was pretty big for us.
Awesome.
Those, I won't say now what I was gonna say. No, but I don't need to. No, it's a good thing. I was gonna go ahead and you get it, because that's what I was gonna say.
Why don't you say it then?
Oh, I was most pleased that the commissioners brought up something exciting that happened on Friday to do with our great superintendent, and that was that Ms. Hemmel was appointed by Governor Scott to the cabinet for, I have it here, I'm sorry,
Children and youth.
for children and youth. And one of the things that was exciting for me to see was the pretty impressive list of people that that the superintendent is going to be serving with. You know, she's going to be serving with, of course, someone she knows pretty well, and that's the commissioner. But multitude of cabinet members, one of our justices of the Supreme Court of Florida, and there is no finer person that could represent the kids of Citrus County than Sandra Samuel.
Absolutely.
I'll give you your change now.
Not a minute too soon. Not a minute too soon. All right. I just received this from the Inverness Women's Club, but we're all invited tomorrow to an open house from 4 to 7, 1715 Forest Drive. Please join us for our celebration, appetizers and wine, cake and punch. Tomorrow from 4 to 7, if you can be there, that'd be great.
What was the address?
Right across the Whispering Pines.
1715 Forest Drive. Across from Whispering Pines, right? That's that good, if you like. And that's all I have. So here's my question. Are we going to recess this meeting until adjourned?
No, I don't.
I'll adjourn this meeting. That was my first.
Do you want to